Hello, welcome back to Leonard Brothers Game. I'm David.
I'm John.
And we're still playing a little bit of Fallout New Vegas. So in the interim, while we were uploading the previous video, we went through a little more of the tutorial, shot a few Sunset Sarsaparilla bottles, and
Killed some geckos.
killed some geckos, and got some stuff, and cooked some food, I guess?
Some meth. No, I mean, what?
No, we didn't cook any meth, although it was suggested in the game.
We made a healing powder.
Yeah. Oh, and the robots are called Securitrons.
Ah, yes.
We could remember earlier, for those who put in the comments, be like, hey, that's duh, you're playing the game, it's Securitrons. You know.
Aside from one comment on one video, have we had any comments?
I don't think we have. It's very unfortunate.
Okay. You're sort of acting as though we have like a
We got our viewers, yeah, so.
Yeah.
True,
in the future.
In the future!
Yeah.
Yes. For other things that you may or may not know about hardcore mode.
Need to know.
Yes, stim packs and other healing items, including food and water, do not heal you instantly, but take some time.
Gradually, yeah.
Right away also decreases gradually radiation poisoning. Stim packs cannot heal crippled limbs. You must have a doctor's bag or sleep in an owned or rented bed, and there's a chem called Hydra, or a doctor's visit. Those things can do it. Okay. Must eat, drink, and sleep to avoid starvation, dehydration, and exhaustion. Skills decrease in 4 stages with each illness until the 5th stage results in death. And when companions are reduced to 0 hit points, they are killed, rather than losing consciousness.
Okay.
Which makes them more along the lines of Skyrim. You know? Like, how many people really keep Lydia from beginning to end? More often than not, they run into something and die instantly. And one thing we did come across while we were running around with Sunny Smiles, her name? Yeah, I think it's Sunny Smiles. One of the glitches of, where she looked like she was going to walk to the next area where she was leading us, and then she just sort of stood there and walked in place. I was like, Sunny, you going to keep walking, or are you just going to stall there? And if one thing these kind of games are known for, it's certainly bugs and glitches and funny things. Like at the beginning, when you're setting up your character and the main guy's head turns full 360. I've seen that kind of bug several times, at least earlier patches and stuff. Speaking of bugs, at least Skyrim-wise, that I'm glad that they fixed for the PS3 version. Remember when you couldn't go underwater?
That was terrifying.
Because they put in a new set of water effects, but they didn't actually test whether they worked properly or not. So the second you ducked your head under the water, the game would lock up because it didn't know what to do with the new water patch. So they had to patch the patch to get it to work again. Boy, howdy, that was a pain. One thing they say on the wiki page for Fallout New Vegas, you're wondering about some of the actors and stuff, voice actors. Well, obviously, Ron Perlman being the war never changes. He's that voice. He's been that voice actually since the earlier games, Fallout 1 and 2.
Yeah.
What few voice things they had him narrating the same lines as that back then too. Wayne Newton as Mr. New Vegas, the replacement for Three Dog. Ow! Listening to Galaxy News Radio. We're Radio Free Wasteland, and we're here for you. You got Matthew Perry, of course, from Friends, who said that on a talk show that he liked Fallout 3 so much, begged them, Bethesda, if you're making a new Fallout game, please put me in it. So now he's the main villain in this one.
Well, a main villain.
A main villain, yeah. We don't
Spoiler alert, he's the one that shot you.
Yeah. Zachary Levi, who played Chuck on Chuck. Michael Dorn, Felicia Day, a bunch of other, various actors. This game contains around 65,000 lines of dialogue, beating its predecessor and previous record holder Fallout 3, which had 40,000 lines. The game itself was actually takes heavy inspiration from the Van Buren project, which was intended to be Fallout 3. It was when Interplay was still working on the game before they sold the rights to Bethesda. they were working on a pre-Fallout 3, and the plot and basic storylines of it comes from that unfinished game. Which is another thing about the previous, because we were talking about Doctor Who Easter eggs in the last episode. Another thing about the Fallout series and the Fallout 2, there is a separate section where you walk off into the distance and you'll see a TARDIS. Just a blue police box sitting out there, and you try to touch it and it just disappears and fades out. Nothing. Yeah.
Doctor, come back for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, hopefully, at least through this playthrough, because I know through the years we've been playing this game and other Bethesda games, we've come across so many glitches and so many funny, weird things going on that it's just beyond bizarre. And hopefully we'll be able to catch some of those and be like, hey, something went completely wrong here, and it's hilarious, but we got to start over. We've lost a good chunk of progress here, and that's not good. Oh, the radio. Can you? Oh, you could.
I fixed it. Yes.
Good. Lucky you. So how do you think you're gonna progress this character? Since you put a whole bunch of points into luck and other stuff, where are you gonna take
money?
Doing money, yeah.
Barter? Yeah, I succeeded.
Well, you're good at bartering and talking and stuff like that,
True.
but you gotta work on that repair and science skills.
Cause like now?
Like now. Yeah, there you go. Level 2. Put everything into repair and science.
Well, at least 25 there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Science.
So having a higher luck gives you initial extra skill points to work with each level? Is that what it says? I guess it's just extra skill points, so it's just obviously useful. And the music. Oh, the music. I tell you one thing, at least the PC version, you can actually add your own tracks to it. So obviously that would help in terms of making it more diversified. Because when you only have like 9 or 10 tracks, I think that's what they really have, between both games, like 20, unique songs. And how, for the longest time, when we were reading previews of New Vegas, they said they were going to have the Rat Pack and all these other different things. We were just really stoked for it, and they only had one Rat Pack song, and everything else was pretty much just generic stuff. And it's still from the time frame, but certainly not what they initially promised.
Okay. Good we get it early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was reading stuff.
Oh, no problem.
Oh yeah, still I still love the game and the music inside of it. I don't want to steal stuff now.
That computer. Oh, you don't want to do any of this right now. I mean, you're trying to make this. Vic Lightfoot's a good guy. I mean, you're not trying to break the. No, you don't.
That's just the door to the outside. Yeah, it's locked. Okay, whatever.
Well, it's always kind of random stuff, It's always arbitrary in terms of even in all the Bethesda games how one thing is sitting on a table is free to take, but the thing right beside it is stealing, and you accidentally take that and you get sent to jail. It's like I didn't mean to take that. Seriously, honest, I wasn't.
Well, it's worth like one more gold or something like that.
Yeah. That's all it takes, or just some arbitrary random thing as to why something is stealing and something else isn't.
Like after you kill somebody and still take their stuff. How is that stealing?
They're dead. They're not going to use it.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, murder, fine, sure.
Yeah.
Now they're still stealing.
Well, if you look at it from the perspective of, the differences between, say, Elder Scrolls and this, is that Elder Scrolls, there is still a set of, government in play. Each of the towns and stuff like that, they have leaders and so on, whereas this is more, being post-apocalyptic, it's all, you're on your own kind of thing. When it comes down to, the Wild West outlaws and stuff like that, there's no real central government really able to hold the wasteland together.
I'll have a much...
And speaking of wasteland, that was actually the original top-down, mostly text-based adventure that Fallout was based on, and they've recently re-released it on Steam with new graphics and obviously compatibility with newer versions of, I think, Mac and Windows.
But it is a different type of gameplay, though, isn't it?
It's more roguelike in terms of it's top down. You've got
or more like
you take
Diablo?
turns. More like Diablo kind of thing. You take turns. Well, more like Pokemon, I suppose, or other rogues thing. So it's like you have a certain list of character, Oregon Trail, maybe because the way it's laid out is like so and so does this, and then so and so does that, and so on.
So and so.
Bye. Yeah, and since we're going a little long here, next time on Leonard Brothers Game. Until then, game on. Happy gaming and stuff and things.